Hey E, I got a question. Hey, alright, so welcome to the segment of the Q&A. It's your boy E signing in. And pretty much, this is just going to be a little introduction. I've been getting asked a lot of questions frequently on YouTube, on Facebook, and people ask me sometimes the same question over and over again, and my answer pretty much doesn't change for some of these questions. So I figured I might just go ahead and just post them on the internet, post them on YouTube. You guys can look them up, check them out, press play, rewind, and all of the good stuff, and get the answers to what I have to offer to your questions. So let's go and get started, man. What's the first one? Hey E, do you got any advice for us newbies starting out? Alright, that's a good question, and actually I get that one asked to me all the time. So here's my advice for the new guys starting out. Pretty much it's this: when you start out with orientation, I would assume this would have to be your mindset. Know what you want to do and do it. That's the biggest thing. So if you know that you're gonna hit this orientation thing, and you know that you're about to enter into the trucking industry, pretty much you want to just have a mentality set, and be determined. Let nothing detour you or sidetrack you. When you hit orientation, sit in the front. That's a big one. Surround yourself with good people. Don't feed into negativity. People talking all this kind of stuff about this and that and the other, and it's not jiving, with positivity. Just go away from there. Sit in the front. You've got to be a loner. Be a loner. I don't recommend that, more or less. Just be friendly, be respectful. Remember, you're there to learn a profession, and if you go in there with that mindset, you're going to be in a good spot. Pretty much, don't be nervous about too much. It is what it is. You're going to just tell the truth. You put everything on paper. You take the little test. You go on that drive. You give it your all, and just let the chips fall where they may, and it's going to be good for you. Just be determined. We all enter into this business for a reason. I had certain goals I wanted to achieve. You're gonna have your goals to achieve. Some of us got mouths to feed. Some of us are trying to put ourselves in a better position. There's a lot of things that we do. That's why we do what we do. And when times get tough, things become stressful. Just we want to fall back on that foundation as of what got us there and what's pushing us through. So that's that first piece. Hey E, I'm about to go out on my 240-hour training with my mentor. What should I expect? Alright, well that question is definitely a good one too, because it hits me right to the heart. Obviously, as you guys know, I'm a mentor, so obviously, this one's more close to me. And pretty much what the deal is this. This is what I'll tell my student. I'll tell them basically this: I have a job, you have a job. My job is to give you everything I possibly know, to prepare you to where when you go on your own, you're not going to fail, that you're going to be safe, that you're going to be a good driver, that you're going to have longevity in the business. That'd be my goal for what I want to impart into my student. What I tell the student is this: what I want from them, what I expect from them is going to be a wholehearted, 100% effort, positive attitude 100% of the time. When all else fails, do what I say. I know it seems kind of rough, but when it gets down to it, push come to shove, and I've tried it many ways, that's the best way to work. And the reason why I say it is because when you're out there in the real field, you're real truck equals real consequences, and we don't want to mess around with those. So basically it's this: just if you're with your mentor, give it 110%. Try to learn everything as much as possible. Ask a lot of questions. If you see them doing something, ask, what are you doing? Why are you doing that? If you get done driving, hey, what could I have done better to be a better driver? If you got done backing, hey, what could I have done to back better? Everything. Paperwork. Hey, is there a better way to do this paperwork? And continue just to pursue. Be a pursuer. Be someone who attacks. Be an attacker. Just try to really be the aggressive person in regards to the learning. From there, if you're coming in with some knowledge, just put it to the side for right now. If you're coming in and you know a little bit of this and that, okay, that's great. Put it to the side. Allow the mentor to mold you. And in my hopes, I hope that you get a good mentor that wants to mold you, that pushes to mold you. But to be honest, even if you don't, and the chips happen to fall in that direction where it doesn't happen that way, you can be the one to actively pursue your learning by asking questions. Obviously, if you try to work it out with your mentor. Tell them what you expect. Tell them that you expect to learn. Tell them that you want to become the best driver, the best professional driver ever. And just set the bar for him and allow the mentor to know who he's working with. Because I think that if I had someone come up on my truck and they were hungry and they're passionate and they're eager to learn, it'd motivate me. I think I'd have such a great time. And You know, unfortunately, you know, that's not always the case in the mentoring position, but that'll be for a later video. But what to expect while you're out in your training? Expect everything. Expect challenges, expect adversity, expect, you know, being stuck and having to deal with sitting, expect, you know, plans just changing. I mean, expect anything and everything, and just pour, you know, my mindset when I came in was this is all I want to learn, nothing else I want to learn. You know, I'm going to give it 110%, and whatever happens, happens. I'm going to have a good attitude about it all. I think if you go in with that, then you're going to be a step above, because, you know, it's easy to gripe, it's easy to complain, and you don't want to get in that mindset, because once that happens, it's pretty much a downward spiral, and you start losing in the way of progress. So continue to make progress, continue to be hungry, you know, be that driver A versus driver B. Driver A, be that hungry guy. That driver B, don't be that lazy guy. So basically, you know, as far as the company, you know, as far as your experience, yes, it has to deal with the other hands that are in the cookie jar, but at the end of the day, it deals with you, and it'll be what you make it. So, you know, I hope you guys make it a good one. If you ever get in a position where you have questions that are not being answered, hit me up. You know, Facebook me, ask me questions, and I'll try to get you these answers. And you're not alone. There's a huge support system out there. Just basically hook up, and, you know, get in that support system, that positive support system. So that was a great question. Hey E, do you still recommend Swift for us beginners? All right. I know, loaded question. But, you know, it's a good question. I actually get that asked all the time. And I'll tell you this much, okay? You know, if I was going to start all over again, you know, wipe the board clean and just do it all over again, I gotta say, to be honest, I think I actually got lucky in regards to the way everything happened. For me, training individually as opposed to training with a big company, I'm happy I did it. You know, the way the orientation went down, I'm happy it went that way. The way I actually had a first mentor, but he dropped me because I couldn't meet him on a certain date, and then I got the next mentor. Super happy, because that guy ended up being even one of my closest friends even till today, so I'm very happy about the way it went down. I went with Warner in the beginning. I applied to them, and they shot me down because I didn't go to their school. So that's cool. Swift picking me up like that, that's cool. So honestly, I'm very happy with the way things went down. In regards to the question, as far as is Swift still a good company, would I recommend it? Of course, I'm gonna tell you this. Yeah, big time. Especially if you're a beginner. If you're a beginner, yeah. Why? Because they're heavy on learning. And when some people can still see as monotonous or not, you know, not necessary, I see it as, heck yeah, you give me information, I'm gonna intake it, consume it, and pass it on. That's great. So I can tell you this, you know, I've watched so much of Swift University. You know, I've watched their everything from winter training, chaining, you know, how they, you know, all the safety videos. I mean, I've consumed them all, because obviously the way I see it is that prepares me to be a better driver. So if you're in the beginning field, you know, and you're looking to get better, Swift is definitely a good spot to start, because they offer so many resources in regards to that manner. Obviously no company is perfect, and there's been some things that I've bumped in my head against, or I've not agreed with, you know, to some degree. Policy changing, I would love to see some policy being changed, but at the same time, for the most part, you know, it's been really good, and a strong company that kept me moving. I've had, you know, for my part, I had good communication with people. I've gotten to know people, and I'm pretty happy. So when it gets down to it, yeah, man, Swift's a good spot to start, and I would recommend anybody to jump aboard and become, you know, part of the Swift team. But you know, if you come on, man, have some pride in the company. You know, you got a few bad apples in the family, but you don't discard the whole family, right? You just, you know, it is what it is. You accept it, or you move on. So basically, for right now, I'll tell you this: if you have an opportunity, yeah, man, jump aboard. Yeah, I mean, you talk about pay, you talk about they don't pay enough. Man, when you really break it down in the grand scheme of things, it's, you know, it's a real push and pull. You know, you're not being paid X amount, but yet, you know, man, you're handling some thousands of dollars of equipment. You're pushing real product. You're getting, I mean, I'm hoping that you're getting with the mentoring aspect. You know, speak as far as myself, you should be getting, you know, what you need to survive and to be a good driver. So I would tell you that it's definitely a good spot to start, and I hope you guys all have the same amount of luck that I had. because at the end of the day, you know, I'm really blessed to be where I am and how it all went down, and I'm hoping to pass that on to you guys with this free information and these videos. So that's about it, man. But until then, you know, yeah, it's just a good spot. Alright, so that does it. That's pretty much a Q&A concept of what I want to do. If you guys have any questions, man, holler at me and let me know. I would love to answer whatever I got. And to be honest, you know me by now. You know me. You've seen me from the beginning, from orientation. I'll tell you what, 100% real, 100% of the time. That's all I can give you. You see my sincerity, I hope, by now, and knowing that, you know, if I have it, I'm gonna give it. So when it gets down to it, ask me a question. I'll let you all know what, you know, what's the deal, the real deal. Maybe ask me a scenario, I'll tell you how I would handle it in hopes that sparks it off with you guys. You know, I'm okay with, you know, putting up a good effort and just, you know, going 100% all the time. And I'm hoping you guys do that, 'cause that's how you really make it, in my opinion. But until then, man, I hope y'all doing great. It's been fun, and I look forward to making more of these videos and answering you guys' questions. So until then, your boy E signing out. Escondido, man. 5 more days and I got to get back on the truck, which you kind of miss, so I'm looking forward to it. But until then, I'm gonna hug my family just a little bit more before I have to go. Until then, man, y'all be good. Peace.